All right. Let me know if my volume is good, everybody. How's everybody doing on this Friday evening? Let me mess with this music for a second here. All right. I think we're good to go. Let me know how my volume is here. See some people in the chat already chatting it up, so I will get to the chat here in a second. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Welcome to episode 3 of Casual Friday. A little bit of a late start tonight. Thank you for being here. 10:40 start time, so I appreciate anybody that decides to show up. It means a lot to me. We're going to talk about it all, man. We got it all. I'm going to throw this up just so you can see it. Week, man. A lot of stuff that I can't wait to talk about. Hopefully no technical difficulties tonight. With that said, there probably will be. We're about to get to the chat here. I'm just checking my phone, making sure everything is looking good. Here we go. Let's get to the chat, shall we? Let's get to the chat, shall we? Let's go ahead and pause this for a second. Let's get the music down a little bit, and let's really focus in on the chat here. Let's take a look at some of these comments. This is me saying chat's okay. So here we go. We got Geo here. We got Geo, the movie canon, saying hello, everybody. What is up, Geo? Thank you so much for being here, man, on a Friday night. Really appreciate you being here, man. Hope you're doing well. We got Valkyrie Magnus in the building. Everybody saying happy Friday, peeps. What's up, Valkyrie? Thank you so much for being here, man. Means the world to me. We got Kenny Lang in the building. Everybody saying cheers. What's up, Kenny? I got a Diet Dr. Pepper, dude. I went to dinner tonight. I had a water, but I got a Diet Dr. Pepper now, so no product placement. I don't get anything from Diet Dr. Pepper. Maybe one day. That'd be kind of cool. Oh man, that's actually pretty average. I'm not gonna lie. All right, here we go. We got Boba Fettuccine. What's up, Boba Fettuccine? Thank you so much for being here, man. He says happy Friday, 1/6 peeps. What's up, man? Good to see you, Boba Fettuccine. We got Mitchell Lawrence in the building. Everybody saying what's happening. What's up, Mitchell? Thank you for being here. Some people saying hello to everyone. Everybody telling me that the volume is good. I appreciate it. We got Malgus for Emperor in the building. Everybody saying evening, Justin in chat. What's up, Malgus? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Again, Friday night, even if, I say it every week, but whoever decides to show up, man, I appreciate it. Even if nobody showed up, I can still, I would still go live and just kind of get used to it. Still working out the kinks, but I feel like each week I'm getting a little bit better at it, getting a little bit better at running the show. So, having you guys to talk to in the chat definitely helps. So, it doesn't go unnoticed, and I really appreciate it. Valkyrie Magnus says, I like the name of the show. Thanks, man. It's funny you mentioned that because I really was overthinking what I was going to call the show. Cause I was like, man, and then I was like, should I even name the show? Should I just randomly go live? Then I just decided, it just kind of came to me and I was like, whatever, that's fine. That's cool. It kind of leaves it open to talk about whatever, we mainly talk about figures and stuff, but I also talk about movies and other toys and stuff like that. So it kind of leaves it open. There's just so much 6 scale stuff this week that this episode is very heavy on 1/6 scale. But as you've noticed on my channel, I like to talk about a bunch of things. So, in other weeks we'll have more of that stuff, but this week, man, there's just so much heat, so much fire that we got to get into it. A lot of people saying what's up to everyone. Again, thank y'all so much for chatting it up in the chat. Means a lot. We are going to start with our first topic. We're going to just get right into it because it's late. I appreciate your time, and we're going to get right into it. I plan on going for about an hour to an hour and a half. So I hope that's cool with everybody. If you decide you have to dip out, I totally understand. If there's a certain topic you would like to really discuss, the people that are in the chat, let me know in the comments below, and I will skip ahead to it. I kind of have an order we're going in, but the chat rules the day today, man. The chat rules the day. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. I almost just did a Q&A tonight. So ask away, man, if you got any questions. Look at this, man. This is what this look, man. Kenny, I'm here all night, dude. That's awesome, man. I appreciate that, Kenny. Thanks for being here, man. I really do appreciate that. That just gives you the good fuzzies, man. It's like, oh man, thanks. Appreciate that comment. All right, let's jump into it if everybody's cool. First off, though, before we jump into it, let me know how everybody's Friday evening is going into the weekend. I know some people work the weekends. I know some people have off. I know some people have got some plans tomorrow. What figures have y'all gotten? What stuff? I don't know if y'all have noticed, but on my video, last few videos I've done a few Lego videos because I'm getting more into just some of these sets that are coming out, man. I'm just like, man, should I forego a couple of figures to get a couple of these sets? Because I just think that would look cool to kind of mix and match. I'm into so much stuff that it's hard to just stay focused on just collecting 6 scale. I like different scales, even though behind me it would tell a different story. But let's kind of get this. Yeah, that was kind of off center a little bit. But yeah, man, I don't know about you guys, but that's the thing I'm really trying to keep going, especially on my channel, is I want to talk about, more stuff than just 6 scale, even though I really love 6 scale. I miss just going into a store, man, and picking out a Lego set or picking out a NECA figure or a Hasbro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know that some of those are kind of, they're not as great of quality, but it's nice to sometimes just go to the store, man, and just pick out something. This ain't no lie, Malgus. Absolutely, man. And the sets I'm interested in are the UCS series, where it's just absolutely, it's the even more expensive than these things. So I don't know, man. I'm trying to I'm getting back into it. I'm really enjoying it. So but yeah, but like I said, man, with a week like this, dude, you got to just stick to this. So much fire this week. We're about to get into our first topic, but first, Valkyrie Magnus says, I just got the Imperial Commando today in Sideshow. Shipped my Iron Man stealth armor today. That is awesome, dude. Let me know how that Imperial Commando is. I've heard good things, and I still have yet to unbox the Mantis and the Natiri. I feel like a horrible fan of Guardians and Avatar because I for whatever reason I just haven't gotten around to opening those, and I think it's because I kind of want to enjoy the opening experience, and I just haven't had the time to really just open it up. And so I probably won't do a full review, but I might open it up and talk about it on stream or something. Really looking forward to those figures. And that leads us right into some Marvel, man. That leads us right into some Marvel because we're just quickly, and I mean quickly, because I have a video up on this. So if you want to check out this video, it's actually up on my YouTube channel if you want to go show that some support, where I talk about the officially released blogger photos of the Wasp from Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. We're going to stay on this for maybe 5 minutes, unless you guys really want to talk Wasp. I feel like there's been a lot of, I've already talked about it quite a bit, and I haven't got to talk about some of this other stuff. So just let me know in the comments below what topic you want to see next. But we're going to kick it over here, and we're going to talk about this right here. We're going to talk about this head sculpt because I'm hearing mixed things on this head sculpt. I'm hearing some people have commented on my Instagram and they said, "Hey, not a fan of it." And I said, "Hey, I am." And it's real respectful. I mean, it's very respectful. We all, we respect it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I got to get a little background. This is like, I'm kind of hearing myself too much. So let me just get this going. Let me know. All right. I just want to talk about this. Before we do, we gotta say Friday. I am having a great Friday. I went out to dinner tonight. I got stuck in I'm not kidding. I got stuck in so much traffic, Stacy, that that's why I wanted to go live at like 9:30, so this is why it's such a late stream, but I kind of like these late streams, man. I don't know about you guys. I mean, I'm up anyway, and it's kind of fun getting on here talking with you guys, and I don't know, man. I like it. Valkyrie Magnus says, I love the Imperial Commando. I've heard great things, Valkyrie, so that's awesome, man. Look at this, dude. This is what I'm talking about. I have the UCS AT-AT and TIE Interceptor. AT-AT was a fun build, but that was also 800 or whatever it costs. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Malgus, is like, that's the thing, is it's like more expensive than these hot toys and stuff, But I will say that is, Lego does hold its value really well, especially Star Wars Lego, especially those UCS. So that feels like a true collectible experience, especially with those sets retiring every like 3 years or so. I don't know, man. I'm just into it. I like it. I like the whole experience of like opening it up, reading the instructions, building. It's a great display piece. It's also something that's like more interactive and stuff. So again, I know you guys are the same, man. We all like all this stuff. I mean, we like maybe some other stuff more than others, but we all like this stuff, man. That's what's so cool about talking about this stuff with you guys. Malgus says, whatever you changed on your mic, change it back. Okay. I don't think I changed anything. Maybe it's the music. Let me pause the music and then let me know if my audio is good, everybody. I really didn't change anything on it, but I've had technical difficulties before. It wouldn't shock me if I had them again. And real quickly, Malga says the AT-AT is top tier when it comes to packaging. Oh yeah, man. That's a great looking piece for sure. I'm gonna start on this topic. Let me know in the comments. Oh, so the music just trained me out for a second. Okay, so I get it. See, this is the stuff I'm going through, you guys. So we're gonna do this real quick. We're gonna get through this part. We're just gonna get through it. And I'm gonna start talking again. And if this annoys y'all, just let me know, because I'm not attached to it. It just having a little background music kind of helps me keep the energy up. Plus this Diet Dr. Pepper as well. All right, let's talk about this head sculpt. What does everybody think about this head sculpt? Because I personally, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm a little bit biased because I've really been anticipating this figure because I love the characters of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Say what you want about Quantumania. I didn't think it was as bad as other people did, but it wasn't good. But I didn't think it was terrible. I just think that the parts that worked for me were when they really focused on Ant-Man and Wasp. When it kind of got crazy is when there was like 3 different side quests going on in the movie. Again, we don't have to talk about the movie, but way too much CGI, obviously. But in terms of this character, I love the suit for the Wasp in this movie. And I normally only want to collect like the character from the movie I like the most, right? So like my favorite Ant-Man movie is the first Ant-Man, but obviously Hope doesn't have the suit yet, In this one, I just love the suit. I think it's great. And I was talking about it with a few people. It's just the yellow and the black and the blue. It's just great. It's almost reminiscent of Wolverine. and I just love that. The sculpt. So here, this is what I've been hearing. Malgus. So Malgus brings up a great point here. He says something just seems off about the sculpt. I don't. I like the sculpt, but I see where you're coming from, because I have that feeling about some other figures as well. Like when I'm sitting there, and I, there's so many great videos where people are like reviewing figures and they're giving their takes on it, and this is just kind of opinion based, but there's sometimes people say this sculpt's amazing, and I just say I don't know what it is, but there's something off about it. So I totally get that. I think the hair is what's getting people kind of caught up on it. I don't think people liked her hair in the movie. I don't think people like her hair on this figure. I think I've heard a lot of, a younger Judi Dench being thrown out of the place. I know you guys know X-Men Supreme. Me and him were talking about it. He said, it just looks like Judi Dench to me. And I guess I get it. I mean, the hairstyles are similar. But if you really look deeper, like if you really look like that, like to me, the eyes, I like this half smirk face, like this, like there's a little bit of a personality there. It's not just a completely default expression. And you got the age lines right here and right here. And again, she's older in this movie. Like that's the thing too. I've heard some people, I've talked, and again, this is not, I've had conversations with people about this. Like, well, the sculpt kind of looks a little older. Yeah, well, she's older in the movie. Obviously, they know that as well. But I just think that like, I really do think it's the hair that's really throwing people off on it. And I don't want to speak for everyone. People might just not like the sculpt at all, and that's totally cool. But at least the conversations I've had with some people that have looked at the figure, like a lot of it circles back to the hair. So I don't know, man. I just like it. I think it looks great. I'm going to throw it over to this image right here. This just looks really good. I can't wait to have the Wasp in the collection, man. Like I'm more excited for this figure than I thought I would be. Like when this got released, I wasn't expecting this to be announced. And so when it got announced, I was excited because I was like, dude, I don't know, man. I think this Ant-Man Quantumania line, if they can get that Paul Rudd sculpt looking good, I mean, to have those two, if you already got Kang, I know a lot of people, really liked that Kang figure, especially the one with the blue face sculpt, where he's like, his eyes are kind of whited out or whatever. I don't know, man. For a movie that just didn't land for a lot of people, I still think that, I think this looks a lot better than it had any business looking. I don't know. I felt like they could have really just kind of gave it, it kind of reminds me of Lady Thor or Jane Foster Thor from Love and Thunder. Like they could have just kind of phoned that in because they're probably thinking like, man, this movie wasn't well received, like, blah, blah, blah. But I'm telling you, that figure looks great. And I just feel like the Wasp is going to be, even though it's from Quantumania, this is just the best suit by a mile, in my opinion. I like it way more than the suit in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I just think it's got a lot of personality. I love the wings. I just love it, man. And again, we'll see, but I'm for sure getting it. Like after I saw these blogger images, because I was wondering about the sculpt myself. I was like, is it going to be a downgrade? Is it going to be an upgrade? I feel like it looks very similar to what we got in the prototype, maybe even a little stronger. And I'm into it. This comment I love. I just wanted MODOK. Listen, man. So I rewatched it like about a month ago. I rewatched Quantumania. And the first time I watched it, I was so like annoyed with MODOK. Like I was like, this is so stupid, man. The second watch, I liked it. And it kind of reminded me of Ben Kingsley's character from Iron Man 3. When I first watched Iron Man 3, I hated what they did with that character because I thought that was going to be a great villain, all this stuff. And they kind of like subverted your expectations on that. Same with MODOK, but like MODOK worked a lot more. He still looks insane with like the CGI face, like just stretched out. It looks wild, but I had a good time with it. I thought what they were trying to do was kind of cool, but it just didn't. The movie just didn't work as a whole. Malgus Frimper says, leave the mask on and it's a great figure. I agree. Kang figure is awesome. One of the few Marvel in the collection. That's great to hear, Malgus. Like I've been thinking about that one because I was thinking if I'm going to get Ant-Man and the Wasp, I'd love to have the villain there with Kang. And plus you just never know. Like who knows, man, probably just only Kang figure we're going to get for a long time, especially them going over to Doctor Doom. And we're going to talk about that Doctor Doom figure here in a little bit. But yeah, Malgus, I think the mask look, and we can switch it back over here. I think I got, yeah, let's look at this photo here. Let's look at this photo here. This is what I'm talking about. I think that this looks just really, really good. And we can zoom in a little bit on this. I don't know. I just think that I'm with you. As much as I like the sculpt, man, it's gonna be hard for me to have it without it looking like this. You know, that's just me personally. Like, I just think that the helmeted look just really looks good, man. So I agree with you on that. We got Christian Crosshair Cooper. I gotta go full screen to say what's up to Christian. Christian Crosshair Cooper says, "What's up, Justin?" Christian, hope you're being safe out there, man. Really thinking about you guys out there in Florida. So you know, definitely hope you're doing well, man, and hopefully everything's getting better over there. So thank you for being here, though, man. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you're doing well. And I've said that a million times. I'm sorry. I repeated myself 5 times. Let me know what you get. Christian, you pick anything up? I know you like the Jake Sully. Has that come in yet with the Jake Sully? Love to hear your thoughts on it. Stacy says, it does look good, but a pass for me. That has been what I've been saying for a while now. Like, that's been my go-to line this year is we're getting so much stuff, Stacy, that's like my go-to line now is like, it looks good, but I got to pass on it because there's just so much coming out. So yeah, like I said, you know, to kind of wrap up what I said with the Wasp here is this is just me. I think it looks great. I think the proportions look great. I think the hands, I said this in my video, the hands look really good to me, man. They're expressive hands. They look great. These wings look phenomenal. Helmeted on look, I think, is the way to go, but I do like having the option. I do think the Evangeline Lilly sculpt is really strong. And whoever did these blogger photos really knocked it out of the park. I love what they did with these blogger photos here. But yeah, man, I just think that her and Ant-Man are going to look fantastic together. And you know, again, I don't have an Ant-Man or a Wasp yet, so I'm very excited to be adding this to the collection. So we've said what we've got to say about the Wasp. I want to kick it over. We're going to stay with Marvel. We're going to stay with Marvel here. We're going to kick it over to we're going to kick it over to this guy right here. We're going to kick it over to this guy. Let me kind of move this a little bit here. All right. This Doctor Doom figure, man, I've been on other people's streams watching, you know, getting involved in the chat because I think it's a consensus. And again, I haven't been in every stream, but I've tried my best to be in a lot of streams this week and, you know, support and, you know, comment. It seems across the board that everybody is hyped for this figure, man. And it kind of reminds me of when T8, the T800 2.0 came out, but even more so with this, because I think that one, I don't think people were expecting it. So it was a huge surprise. And two, it's Doctor Doom, man. It's the comic line. It's the comic accurate look. Again, we're about to get so much Doctor Doom stuff. It's about to be a decade of Doom, man. Because I feel like with Doomsday coming up, we got like they've yet to really get this character right. And when they do, it could be Thanos level stuff. Because if they do, they got to do, in my opinion, they got to do it different. In the movies, they got to do it different than what they did with Thanos because the Thanos thing's been done. So do something different with the character in terms of how you're going to introduce him, all that stuff. But man, this figure looks good, man. And I hope the movie does not stray too far from this look because this look is iconic and it just looks great. The green, just everything, man. This chain right here, this backdrop. I mean, this backdrop's okay. I mean, I'm not, you know, it's okay. But the figure itself, man, looks great. We got some comments. Let's get to some of these comments real quick here. I'm going to move myself up here so the comments doesn't completely block me. So, real quickly, what does everybody think? Like, just initial thoughts when this came out. Like, when this was announced, and when you first saw the images, like, don't tell me what you think about it now after looking at it all week. Like, what was your initial thought? Was it like a surprise for you? Was it a pleasant surprise, or was this one that you were like, God, why do we need this? Like, I personally think it's cool we're getting a comic version of it. But and I'm usually like a head sculpt guy. Like, I just want to get like the accurate head sculpt for the actor and actress, but I kind of want to get everybody's thoughts on that. Christian Cooper says, yeah, bro, I'm safe. My boss's garage was completely underwater and I was helping him all day today. Well, man, God bless you, man. That's I hate to hear that, man, but I'm glad you're there to help them. And, you know, like I said, you guys stay safe out there. Praying for you guys. Yeah, man. I got some family in Florida as well. They're not being affected by it, but yeah, man, it's that's a tough situation there. But I'm glad you're there to help, man. And again, can't stress enough. Thank you for being here even after a day like today, man. So I really do appreciate the support. Malgus says, seems like a lot are hype but passing because they'd rather wait for the MCU version. Great point, Malgus. I've heard that as well. And I think that, okay, collect how you want to collect, obviously. Not giving any pointers here at all. But my thing is, like, I think that this is, if you love Doctor Doom and you want this version of the character, I don't know what that new suit's going to look like. I don't really, there's just something within me that's feeling like, yes, they announced Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom and all this, right? There's something about it that just feels, I feel like there's more to it than just, hey, Robert Downey Jr. is now, you know, Victor Von Doom. I just feel like there's more there. I don't know how to describe it. It's just a feeling I'm having that, not that it was a stunt. I think Robert Downey Jr. is going to be heavily involved in those movies. But I don't know, man. There's just something about it. I just hope that they keep the look like this for the most part. I don't mind if they do something different with it, but I'd love like a comic accurate look. I don't know, man. There's just something about having the comic version for me, for like a character like Doctor Doom. Also, not seeing his face in a weird way, like, makes him more menacing to me. And you can kind of see that with this image right here. Like, this image right here, to me, you could see those eyes, man. Those eyes, they're like really, like the green pupils, like almost like dead eyes, man. It's weird. Like, you look in there and you're like, who's in there, man? Who's in there? Who's behind that mask? Why don't you take that mask off? Let's have a conversation. Let's get to know each other. I know you think that you need to do this, but, you know, let's talk about it. That's what I get. You know, I get those eyes just looking back at me saying, I've already made up my mind. I've already made up my mind. And I'm having this whole, like, you know, fan fiction going on right now. But I guess what I'm getting at is the mystery behind the mask is like a plus for me with Doom. I feel like the mistake that original Fantastic Four movie made, and they made a lot of mistakes with that movie. I just felt like Doom, like, felt like, you know, like a Bruce Wayne type of character. Like, they made him almost too, you didn't feel that menacing. And I'm talking about the one, not this most recent Fantastic Four, but the one with Chris Evans and all that. Like, Doom is really supposed to feel not only super powerful, but like extremely intelligent, and also someone who, yes, is charismatic, but it's almost like this, I don't know how to articulate what I'm trying to say, but Doom's personality is different than Tony Stark, Bruce Wayne, all this different stuff. And I felt like so far they've been trying to like make it that type of character. So I'm interested to see where they go with it. Let's get caught up on a few comments here. Christian Cooper says, absolutely, bro. Good day to talk about figures. Absolutely, man. Absolutely is. Malgus for Emperor says, for me, RDJ doesn't really match the look of Doom. I agree, but I think I'm going to trust it enough to be like, look, I feel like Marvel is trying to right the ship right now. I feel like they, you know, they've got a little bit of momentum right now, and that did get people excited again, having Robert Downey Jr. there. I really think there's going to be some surprises with that casting. I really think there's going to be some surprises there, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. But I agree with you, like, and it's going to be hard not to look at RDJ and be like, oh, shit, man, that's Tony Stark. But I'm gonna have to suspend my disbelief, and this is why I'm getting this figure though, man, because I feel like this is Doom, man. This is like the Doom that this is the Doom you see, man, in the comics, cartoons, whatever. First introduction of Doom for me was that. So the movie canon says, yes, it's been a crazy week. Hot Toys, InArt, Mondo. Yeah, man, I couldn't even like fit the Mondo Spider-Man on this thumbnail. That Mondo Spider-Man looks pretty good. I mean, I still don't have one of these Mondo 6 scale figures. I'm still waiting for my McCready to come in. So I don't know how deep I want to go with this Mondo stuff yet, but they've got some really good IPs, and I love what they're doing with the like the 90s cartoon versions and stuff. We got Wayne Timothy in the building, everybody. Wayne Timothy is here. He says, hey, Justin, I hope you're doing well. Wayne, I'm doing fantastic, man. Talking figures with a great group of chat. Wait, a great group of chat. Hold on. Cut the music. That obviously made no sense. I'm doing great, Wayne. Hanging out with chat. Damn it. Hey, Justin, I hope you're doing well. Let me hold on. Let me rephrase this. Doing great, man. Always a great night when you're hanging out with this type of chat. Damn it. Let's move on. Wayne, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for being here. We got Valkyrie Magnus saying, take care, and I hope things will get better. Yeah, man. Shout out to Christian Cooper, everybody out in Florida right now. What a luxury, man, to just be able to talk about figures, man. I mean, it's little things that we kind of take for granted each day. And just being able to have internet, electricity. Like I've seen some of the video and stuff, man. It's just, yeah, man. It's a tough deal. But yeah, very grateful to have people in here in chat. Very grateful to be able to talk figures with you guys tonight. Stacy says the figure looks great and has just enough of a diorama base too. Yeah, and let's take a look at that. So let's go back to that's a great point, Stacy, because I didn't talk about the base too much, but we're gonna switch it back over to this right here, because I believe this is a great comment. It's like has just enough of a base. That's kind of where I'm at with these dioramas. Some of these diorama bases, man, are getting so ridiculously big that I personally am just about to just be like, you know what, just give me the standard version. And I never thought I'd be that guy, because I used to be just like, hey man, you got to get deluxe. It's like a way better bargain. But dude, how many times do we actually sell off the diorama base? I mean, maybe you guys do, and like, more power to you. I'm lazy, and so I'm just like, I'll just keep it in the box. It just takes up so much space, man. And I'm new to this whole thing, like collecting 6. I'm still relatively new, so like, I thought I was gonna have all these diorama bases and all this stuff, and I just have to get bigger cases, obviously. But yeah, man, they just take up space, and I do like this. So I'm gonna take your comment off, Stacy, but great comment. This diorama base is good. I like how it doesn't add a ton of height, because you're already going to have a ton of height with this background here. I know a lot of people had said that they wish it would have been like a throne, and I think that would have been really cool as well. I just, for me personally, man, this base just doesn't really do it for me. And I'm not saying it looks bad. It's just one that I don't see myself using it. And, I see myself doing something more like this here. Using the base like this, like kind of using it like as he's like stepping up on it. What I'm referring to with the base is the back part of it. You know what I mean? Malgus for Emperor says, what's in that Diet Dr. Pepper, Jess? There's a lot of ingredients that have a lot of letters that I can't even pronounce. A lot of I tell you what's not in this Diet Dr. Pepper is Diet Dr. Pepper. Yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to say you guys were a great chat, and I kept saying a great group of a chat. And then if I'm being honest, I kind of had a little bit of fun with me messing up. So I'm good though. I promise you. I'm strictly on the Diet Dr. Pepper tonight and some water. That's it, guys. Promise. We got Darth Tamaris in the building, ladies and gentlemen, saying, "What's up, man? What is up, Darth Tamaris? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here on episode 3 of Casual Friday. We're hanging out. We got 13 in the chat that just dropped to 11 as soon as I saw that. Just dropped to 11. That's okay. If you wouldn't mind, hit that thumbs up button for me. Really help it out the stream a lot. So if you haven't hit the like button and you're enjoying yourself, don't give me the thumbs up if you haven't enjoyed it. Only if you're enjoying it. If I've earned that thumbs up, hit that thumbs up button. Look at the... Okay. You know, I hate to do it, guys. You know, we're trying to talk about Dr. Doom and we got this. Look at this. I hate to do it again. I hate to do it this... We're on the second topic and I've had to cut the music again. Justin, should I get Thrawn? Should I get Thrawn? Christian Crosshair Cooper asking me if he should get Thrawn when he already knows deep down what he's going to do. Christian Cooper has already made up his mind if he's getting Thrawn. He's 100% getting Thrawn, chat. Christian Cooper is 100% getting Thrawn. He does this, though, because Christian Cooper, no disrespect, Christian, but you have a sickness, man. You have a sickness because you this figure's available right now. You could probably still get it at retail price. But Christian Cooper likes to be on the hunt for unattainable figures, and I think he's waiting for this figure to be double in price before he feels it's worthy to join his collection. That's what I think. With that being said, I don't have Thrawn, but everybody that I've talked to, like actually talked to, not just watched videos on, but actually talked to about the Thrawn figure, really likes the Thrawn figure and says it has a lot of presents. Not gifts from Santa Claus, a lot of presents, like a lot of shelf presents. So with that being said, if it's a character you love, as always, Christian, pick it up, man. But it's your collection. You got to make these decisions on your own. I can only guide you, man. I can only show you the way. It's up to you to walk. I don't know, man. If you want to get it, get it. If you want to get it, get it. Let's get to some other comments here. Look, yeah, help him out, chat. Let him know. So Malga says, Cooper, you should. Christian, you should. Maybe it's right there. Malgus says it. Malgus Fermper says it right there. The movie canon says he claims it's Diet Dr. Pepper. I mean, trust me, I wish it was regular Dr. Pepper, but it's diet. You know, I'm trying to do better. Gonna be eating a lot of Halloween candy in October. Thought I'd throw a diet beverage in there. Look at this. Look at what's being said. Yeah, I think you forgot to mention Grandpa's coffin. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Christian Cooper says, "Love the answer." Right? You know, again, Christian, I'm just looking out for you, man. But Malgus Fermper says it's great. But we got to say that we got to say hello to Irfan 1381. Irfan, if I mess that up and it's ER fan or anything like that, please just know that I'm trying to say it. So let me know if I'm messing it up. But thank you so much for being here. It says, wait for Big Bad Toy Store in a few months. So there you go. There's another great answer. We're getting some great answers in the chat today. Wayne Timothy's doesn't even want to hint around it. He says, do it. Do the do. Pick up some Mountain Dew and then pick up Thrawn, he's saying. Christian Cooper, absolutely you do. There's no doubt about it. Might have an addiction. Yeah. I think if you're I think we're all on a Friday night at 11:16 talking about Diet Dr. Pepper and figures. Yeah, I think we're all in the same boat. Valkyrie Magnus says Diet Dr. Pepper tastes the same as regular Dr. Pepper. I disagree with this take. That's how it's marketed, and it is the closest of any other beverage, but there's something about a crispy, delicious Dr. Pepper on ice, man. It just has a different kick to it, a different flavor. Somebody back me up in the comments. If you're a big fan of Dr. Pepper. It is what it is. We spent way too much time on it, and I just spit everywhere. So let's jump into let's talk. Let's finish up our thoughts on Doom here. We're getting sidetracked. I promised you an hour and a half. We're at this rate, we're going 7 hours. All right. with that said, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This wasn't a day one pre-order. I've yet to pre-order this. I don't even think it's up, by the way. So let me just scratch that. This isn't even up on Sideshow, I don't believe. But this to me is a figure that I'm very, very interested in getting, and I definitely see myself getting it. I think it's a figure that I think it's going to be one that if you miss out on it and you want it, you're going to really kick yourself for doing so. And that's what I'm kind of reminding myself. I just love the medieval look of Doom, man. It's like this futuristic medieval look. I love he comes with the Darkhold. I think I have a picture of him with the Darkhold actually that I can show. He's got the Darkhold here, man. It just looks badass, dude. It just looks badass. I mean, that's the best compliment I can give it, is like sometimes you just want to figure because it looks amazing. But honestly, Doom is such an iconic villain, man, that like I just feel like I gotta have this one, man. As a Marvel fan, I just feel like I gotta have this one. So let me know in the comments below before we move on if you are going to pick up this Dr. Doom figure. My last thoughts on it are this. I think it looks amazing. I love the material it's made out of. The only gripe I had, and I've heard a few other people say it, they wish there was a little bit of die cast in it. I agree. I mean, if you want to throw some die cast on there, I'm never gonna say no die cast. I'm never gonna say it. But I will say this. I like this figure, but I don't know when I'm going to pre-order it. I think it's one that if it comes out and it's like getting low stock, I'll pick it up. But with all this stuff coming out, man, I'm not going to get up here and just say I'm getting everything, but I love this release. I want to see more releases like this. I think this is a cool idea. I think that they could have definitely went the Hano Studios route with this, and they didn't. And I like that. I mean, I definitely like what they're doing with the Hano Studios line, but this just feels like it's going to be a great figure to have when all that Dr. Doom hype kicks in. Having it on the shelf already is going to feel pretty cool. And plus, if you've been to Universal Studios and you've seen the Dr. Doom ride, brings back a little bit of nostalgia for that. I don't know. Valkyrie Magnus says, Diet Dr. Pepper. Oh, we've already read this. Sorry, Valkyrie. We just read this. I got to go full screen for this. We got the Jedi Knights watching the building, ladies and gentlemen. We got Graham. Everybody say what's up to Graham. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here on a Friday night for episode 3 of Casual Friday. We're talking everything from Diet Dr. Pepper to Dr. Doom. We're talking about all the doctors tonight. We might talk about Dr. J. Might talk about Dr. J later. Who knows? I'm not sure. But thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Aunt Jemima in the building. You could pair this up with Thanos. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like with Marvel villains, like it's villains in general, man. Like anytime you can get like an iconic villain, I just feel like it's I take notice, especially with these Marvel villains, especially with like Star Wars villains and stuff that's not Vader and, Anakin and all that stuff. Villains are you just never know when you're going to get them again. So it's, again, I do think we're going to get a lot of Dr. Doom stuff coming up soon. I think Dr. Doom is about to enter in. Dr. Doom and X-Men are about to be the next stage of the Marvel stuff. So we're about to get a lot of stuff from that. Graham says we're going to switch it back over so we can reference this. This figure looks great, just not for me. Yeah, that we were just talking about that, Graham. Like there's so many figures out here right now that look amazing that still might not be for us. Like it's just, we were talking about it with the Wasp. We're going to talk about some other figures here in a minute. That's just how much great stuff there is right now, man. You just can't keep up, and you really gotta be selective. So that's why I'm saying, I don't even want to flat out say that I'm 100% getting it, because I'd be lying. But I will say, every time I look at this, every day that goes by, I think it looks better and better. So I'm really looking forward to potentially getting this. Malgus Ripper says, I know a little bit about Comic Doom, but what's the story with him and the Darkhold? Great question. So I'm not even going to sit up here and pretend that I know all the connections. What I do know is in terms of just him as a character, just his ideology of like, he's almost got like where Thanos was like, wanting to rid half the universe or whatever because of this or this, or because of like resources or whatever. Doom is more like methodical with like his intelligence is it. I don't want to compare him to Thrawn in any way, but the same reason people love Thrawn is why people love Doom. But the difference is like Doom can also like do A, B, and C on a violent level. Like he can kick your ass, and he can beat you in a game of chess. Somebody, you get what I'm saying? He can beat you in a game of chess, 8 moves. I mean, Bobby Fischer style, like just dominate you on a chessboard. And then if you try to start talking some mess to him because you're like, hey man, that ain't fair, like you did this, he just kick your ass right there and then. So that's the best way I can describe Amalgus. If you want, man, there's a lot of YouTubers in the space that are that do a lot of comic book streams and stuff. So definitely they know a lot more about this than I do. So I don't want to sit up here and like be wrong and then be like, look like an idiot. So the Darkhold question, I do want to do a little bit more research on, but just in terms of him as a character, that's probably the best way I can put it. He just wants to create like almost a perfect, where Thanos was like perfectly balanced. Like I feel like Doom wants to create like a perfect civilization of like people that he deems worthy. Like he's just, I don't know. It's fascinating stuff, man. He's a beast. Like that's all I can say. He's a beast. Like he just, and I'm telling you, man, there's some comic runs where he's featured right now where he's just like, if you read up on the comics, man, he'd be one of your favorite Marvel villains. No question. No question. That was a really long-winded answer. I could have just said, hey, I don't know what's going on with the Darkhold. So I tried to sound smarter than I was. I should have just said, I really don't know, man. I don't know what the connection is there. But I'm sure it's sinister. I'm sure it's sinister. All right, let's move on to our next topic here. Because we still got a ton of figures, man. We still got a ton of figures. We're gonna switch off of Hot Toys just for a second because I want to talk a little bit about this. We got like one picture to look at, but I want to talk about this just for a bit. I want to talk about this InArt Legolas. I can't do this, man. I can't go down this path. I can't begin to collect Lord of the Rings next. I'm already fighting for my life out here. Trying to find a rooted Harry Potter from InArt. This thing's upwards of $1,000 on eBay. Can't do it, won't do it. But the fact that if like, let me put it this way. This is the one figure from Lord of the Rings that I've really wanted. Like, I just think Legolas is just like, I don't know, man, he's just a beast. Like the character's great. There's so many great characters in Lord of the Rings, but this is the first one that they've released. And again, Gandalf looks fantastic. I think Aragorn looks good. There's some issues I have with the sculpt, but other than that, it looks really good. But this Legolas figure, dude, looks absolutely insane. This looks absolutely insane. The hair, the features. I mean, this Orlando Bloom sculpt, man. Can I zoom in on this actually? Look at that, bro. I'm learning something every day. Look at this sculpt, man. This looks damn good. And the thing that I'm noticing with the InArt stuff, and that's why I want to really get an InArt piece, so I can actually speak intelligently on the company and like what they provide. I'm just going based on what other people kind of say with their reviews. But I want to kind of know that for myself. But just from an eye test, like for me looking at it with my eyes and being like, hey, is this good or not? I love the tailoring, man. I correct me if I'm wrong, people that have if you have an InArt figure, let me know if the tailoring's as good as it looks, because it looks damn good to me. This tailoring looks great. And the material of this, like we're going to zoom out because look at this, man. What the hell? Just casually just saying, oh yeah, by the way, October 2nd, you can pick up this absolute grail. No big deal. So like I've said before, man, on other streams, like if they can get their production like quicker and get it into people's hands faster and really start like, depending on how deep they go with this Lord of the Rings line, this Lord of the Rings line, dude, is set up to just look absolutely phenomenal. And we were talking about Lego earlier, man. I don't know if y'all seen the Lego Lord of the Rings stuff, but damn, dude, I'm already thinking about pairing this up with some Lord of the Rings Lego. Like, I don't even need a backdrop. I don't need nothing. I'm just going to put it with that because that, like, both of those would be so cool. I'm just looking for an excuse to buy one of those big sets of Lord of the Rings Lego, man. It just looks so good. But we're just gonna go on this figure. But look, even like these wrist gauntlets here, just the bow, man. I don't know, man. I hope we get a Gimli as well. Like I think I'd be okay with just having him and Gimli and calling it a day. Because I don't know if I could do the whole line. I'm already feeling like I'm overwhelmed with everything that's out. And that's why it's so hard to kind of be on, like on stream and on like when I'm making my videos talking about this stuff, because I am excited, and I really do in the moment when I say like, oh dude, I'm getting this. I really have the best of intentions to get it. But then when I really look at my pre-order list, it's overwhelming, man. It's absolutely overwhelming. But this is the first Lord of the Rings figure from InArt that like I've really like paused and been like, I might have to get this. Not that Gandalf isn't iconic and not that Aragorn's not iconic. They're absolutely iconic characters and they look great. But there's just something about Legolas, man. It's just like, I don't know if it's the fighting style, if it's like just the character. I don't know what it is, man, but I feel like shit's just gotten real, Darren 2501 in the building. What is up, Darren? Thank you for being here, man. Really appreciate it. It says Legolas hair looks great, though. Absolutely agree. I think the hair looks great as well. And Darren 2501 also says Gandalf is fantastic. That's what I've been hearing. All the reviews I've seen of it, that's a beautiful piece. That's a work of art right there. Absolutely, man. Darren, are you pretty like, do you already have Gandalf and Aragorn? You still waiting on Aragorn? I kind of want to get your opinion on Aragorn if you have them. I assume you're going to be picking up Legolas if you have Gandalf, but you never know. I know some people just want to get Gandalf or whatever, so I'm interested to hear your take on that. We got X-Man Supreme in the building, ladies and gentlemen. This is who I've been talking with a little bit about. I mentioned it earlier in the stream. Me and X-Men been chatting back and forth on Instagram about that, and on my YouTube video about that Wasp figure. And we think maybe the yellow suit with Wolverine having that same type of, maybe that's why we're drawn to, especially X-Man's been saying that he might be drawn to. Again, X-Men, perfect example of what we were talking about. It looks great, but I'm not getting it. Perfect example right here. I don't want to speak for him, but based on what we've talked about, it seems like a lot of people think these figures look great, but they're having to pass because of just so much stuff coming out, man. Darren says, Gandalf I have, canceled Aragorn. Okay, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, are you planning on picking up Legolas? So yeah, I just wanted to quickly talk about Legolas real quick. That's really the only image I had of him, but I definitely am interested in this one. The ones I have on pre-order right now are the Ron and Hermione and the Paul Atreides. And like I said, I'm trying to find that rooted Harry Potter for a good price. The aftermarket on that right now is pretty crazy. And I don't know if I'm assuming it'll get a little bit better, but they didn't make a lot of those from what I'm hearing. So I don't know, man. But I'm interested. This just looks good. This just looks good. X-Men says big facts. Thanks again, X-Man, for being here, man. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your night to show some support, man. It really means a lot to me. Darren says, very tempted. I agree having the elf and the dwarf might be worth it, even with no Aragorn or Boromir. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying, Darren. It's like how deep do we go with this line, man? Like, I'm not going to pretend that I'm this gigantic Lord of the Rings fan. I watched all 3 movies in theater. I still remember vividly Fellowship. Like, I just was blown away by Fellowship. And I think it's because of this first one. I'm not saying I'd have to really think about what my favorite is. I think Fellowship's always been my favorite only because it was my introduction to the world. Like, I didn't read the books or anything. I knew nothing about Lord of the Rings when I went and saw it. I was very young, and I went and saw it, and I was just like blown away by it. I was like, damn, dude, this is like, they always do that Martin Scorsese, like, this is cinema. Like, that's how I felt, man. I was like, dude, this movie kicks so much ass. I mean, it is, it's just a timeless tale, And then I even went and saw the Hobbit movies, but even so, I'm not, even if you're like a gigantic Lord of the Rings fan, I'm wondering how deep you want the line to go, because you're having to add up all that money. You're like, okay, what characters do I absolutely need? What characters can I do without? So I'm interested in like that core group of characters. If you had to like select 3 or 4 that you really want to see made, I think they've done a good job so far. Gandalf, Aragorn, now Legolas. Like, I feel like they're doing a good job with giving us those characters that I feel like are essential parts of the line. X-Men says, I'm wishing I ordered that InArt Spearman. Yeah, man, that thing looks great too, doesn't it, man? I'll be honest with you. I'm not feeling the FOMO on that one like I am with like the Harry Potter, and like I am with potentially the Aragorn. I don't think looks perfect. I have a lot of issues with the head sculpt on that one, like the forehead and all that stuff. I just feel like I'm just not a huge fan of the way that turned out. I still think 90% of the figure looks fantastic. But dude, this Legolas, man, this has got me wanting to go back to Middle Earth, baby. I mean, this got me wanting to, rewatch the whole trilogy, man, in one setting. I don't know. We got Clinton Martin in the house, everybody. Howdy, folks. Clinton, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. Again, we got 14 in the chat. If you're just joining, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, if I've earned your like, if you're enjoying yourself, I would really appreciate it. But just being here, man, truly, this is awesome. I'm having a blast, man. This is definitely going longer than I anticipated, just because you know how we get chatty. We like to talk. We like to talk about this stuff, hanging out on a Friday night. Thank y'all for being here. X-Man Supreme says, it's because Legolas is so cute. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's funny, man, because like Legolas is just that like type of character that I feel, if there was a poll, man, I'm wondering if Legolas would be like the number one character of like what people wanted for InArt to make. I'm very interested to see if like maybe he would, again, Gandalf. I mean, Gandalf's Gandalf, but I don't know, man. There's just something about Legolas. Like when you saw that movie, like when he did his fight scenes and just his interactions with Gimli, Orlando Bloom, kind of like a star-making, not kind of, was a star-making role for Orlando Bloom. Not as much so as it was a star-making role for Viggo Mortensen, man. I mean, my God, that guy's just absolutely crushing it still. But man, what a franchise, man. What a franchise. Christian Cooper says, does anyone have the Kenobi 501st Troopers? I don't. I know where you can find one, though, if you need one. Everybody's saying what's up to X-Man. I don't blame you. When X-Man enters the chat, you know that it's about to get entertaining, and you're going to hear some good takes. Christian says, I was looking at them too. I assume he's talking about the 501st Troopers. Yeah, okay. This is a continuation. Yeah, they look good. There's just so much stuff, man. There's just so much stuff. We're having to really make decisions. And I'm not even talking about just 6 scale. Like, we got to make decisions on if we're going to get that box of cereal this month. Because InArt just said, hey, I know you got bills due, but guess what? No big deal. Just dropping Orlando Bloom in the house. I don't know, man. It's a great time to collect, but it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. Stacy said, Legolas is the GOAT of Middle Earth. Yeah, man. And see, what's crazy is, like, if you've watched the Hobbit movies, like, I know that those weren't near as well received, but I mean, let's be honest. There's no way you're following up that trilogy. So I actually thought the Hobbit films, especially the second and third one, were really good. I wasn't a huge fan of the first Hobbit, but the second, third Hobbit films were really good. Yeah, man. So you got that connection with that character as well. I wish they would make Evangeline Lilly's character from the Hobbit films. That would be amazing. That would be awesome to pair with this. X-Men says, I wonder if Orlando dresses up like this in the bedroom for Katie. You know, man, that's a great question, X-Man. This is what I'm talking about. When X-Man gets in the chat, you know you're going to get some great questions. The only problem is, X-Man, I'm not sure. I wouldn't, I know actors like will keep like, props and costumes from their roles. So I definitely think he's probably kept something from the uh from the franchise for sure. We got Darren here bringing some great comments as well. Darren says Superman sculpt seems to have turned out great. If InArt can deliver this prototype of Legolas like that, it will probably be worth it. Wait time and all. Yeah, that's the thing, Darren, is like that's the thing. If it ends up looking like this, it's a no-brainer pickup for a lot of people. But again, we'll see, and the Superman sculpt is a great comment you made there. Like, dude, that thing looks amazing, man. Like again, I don't want to say it looks perfect because there's a few issues there. But for me, like somebody who doesn't really pick up on a lot of the details like some other people do, because I just miss them. It just looks good, man. So like when I'm just scrolling through people's images and I'm looking at people's reviews of that Superman, damn, dude, it looks good. Movie Canon says Orlando from Troy. Man, getting Brad Pitt or Eric Bana from Troy would be sick. I feel like his character in that movie got a lot of people killed. I feel like that character got so many people killed in that movie, man. But I'll tell you, man, Troy's one of those movies, man. I feel like it got kind of panned when it came out by critics and stuff. Dude, that movie kicks ass, man. I'm not saying it's like without flaws, but dude, it's just a fun movie, man. We got Ben Thomas in the building, everybody, from the Ben Thomas Show. He says, hey, everyone, what is up, Ben? Thank you so much for being here, man. Thank you for stopping by for episode 3 of Casual Friday. It's 11:39 at night on a Friday evening. We got 16 in the chat. We got Ben Thomas swinging by saying hello. We got guys like X-Man Supreme in here. We got Geo in here. We got Malgus Frimper, Valkyrie Magnus. We got Darren in here bringing the heat. Christian Cooper. I mean, everybody. If I haven't said your name, Clinton. I mean, who else has been here? Graham from Jedi Knights Watch has stopped by. We've had Aunt Jemima stop by. We've had Wayne Timothy. Irfan 1381's been in the building. See, now what I've done is I've said so many names that I got to say everybody. Star Tamaris. We got Stacy. Kenny Lang. Please don't miss one person. Please don't miss one person, Justin. Make sure you get it right. Boba Fettuccini was here earlier. Yeah. If I missed your name, I'm very, very sorry. I tried my best. But so many great people in the chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Valkyrie Magnus says, yes, Troy figures would have been awesome. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, Gladiator 2 coming out this year, guys. Gladiator 2 figures. We'll see. I'm excited about Gladiator 2, man. I wasn't excited about that when they first announced it. But the more I see of it, the more I hear about it, I'm like, damn, this movie actually might be really, really good. We got Mart P in the building. Mart P, if I missed you earlier, man, I did not know you were in the chat, dude. Thank you so much for commenting. He says, where's my shout out, fam? Here it is right here. Thank you for being here, Mart P. I really do appreciate it. This is the first comment I've seen from you, so I apologize. X-Man Supreme says, don't forget Jose. Jose's here? Have I missed that? I would have noticed Jose. I would have noticed everybody. I feel like I got to everybody, right? See, this is what happens, man. You try to shout out, this is what happened. This one I knew what was going to happen. I knew I was going to mess up somewhere. But for real, if I missed your comment from earlier, I've tried my best to keep up with the chat. So if I missed your comment, just trust me when I say I truly appreciate everyone that's in here. Even if you're in here listening and you're not commenting, I appreciate you. Mart P says, avid follower here. Mart P, man. It means the world to me. Says, great channel, dude. Mart P, listen, I appreciate you. I really do. I hope you stick around. I hope you stick around the channel and show up to some other streams, man. Be awesome. Said just popped in. Oh, okay, Mart P. Like I said, man, glad to have you here. Glad that you're participating in the chat. X-Men Supreme says no, but he'll know you didn't shout him out. Okay, Jose, if you're watching on the replay, man, thanks for being here, Jose. Ben Thomas Show says, I didn't even notice Jose was here. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I got to take a sip of Dr. Pepper to really rethink this. I think this might be a thing where Jose's not here. But if he is, I think what X-Men is trying to tell me is if he is in some capacity, maybe he's just not commenting. I lost my train of thought. All right, here we go. We got Ben Thomas and X-Men talking. X-Men saying what's up to everybody in chat. I appreciate this, Mark P. This means a lot to me, man. Mark P says it's because your commentary is concise and no BS long intros like other channels. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I try my best to just give my opinions on stuff, and I'll also tell you, like you've heard of me on this stream, like I truly don't know as much as a lot of people do. I just go based on what I think looks cool. That goes for, we've talked about Legos tonight. We've talked about 6 scale. We've talked about other figures, other toys. That's just kind of, I just collect what I think looks cool. And if it's a character that I love and it looks cool, it's like double, man. So I do appreciate you, the support, Mark P. I really do. Ben Thomas says, Ben Thomas, this has been a topic all night, man. Everybody thinks I'm drinking tequila in this Dr. Pepper cup or something, or this Dr. Pepper can. I wish I was more interesting. It's product placement, man. How cool would that be if Dr. Pepper was actually they said, hey, we love what you're doing, but we need you to. It's kind of like those after those like sports, after like a football game or whatever, they got like the Gatorade or the Coke in front of them, and it's like the product placement. That's kind of what it is tonight. Mark P is just he's telling the truth right here. Ben Thomas, also another great channel. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. X-Men Supreme says Jose is in our hearts. We are Jose. Yeah, man. Jose, like I said, if you're watching on the replay, thanks for kind of being here, man. I appreciate it. This is a great question. Justin, what pre-orders do you have, bro? Okay. I'm going to miss a few if I'm being honest with you. Here's what I truly have on pre-order, and not just ones that I am going to pre-order. This is what I actually have on pre-order at the moment. And again, I'm going to miss a few, but I have Guardians of the Galaxy 3 Nebula, Ron and Hermione InArt Harry Potter, Paul Atreides InArt, Batman with Armory, Bane, Joker, a couple of the Ahsoka figures. I think I have Sabine and like Balin and Shin and Ahsoka, I think, and Hera. See what I'm talking about? Like, that just made me cringe a little bit, because I'm like talking about how selective we got to be, and I have that many pre-ordered. That's what I'm talking about, man. It is insane how much stuff is out. Like, it's and dude, I just got the couple weeks I had before this, dude. I had so much stuff, like all these pre-orders, like, what do you call it? I can't think of what it is, but it's like, basically it was time to pay up. Basically, it was like, hey, the figures are here. It's time to pay, and man, it was tough. That's the first time I've experienced that since I've collected 6 scale, where I've had like 4 or 5 POs hit at one time, like in the span of like 3 weeks. And it was rough. So I'm trying not to pre-order as much. I'm trying to wait it out. Oh, John Wick. I got John Wick pre-ordered. I got way too much pre-ordered, if I'm being honest with you. And if I'm being transparent, not all of them are going to make it home. I'm just being real with you. Like, if I get hit with like 5 of them at once, I'm going to have to make a cut somewhere for sure. I get pre-order happy, man. You know how it goes. I haven't even talked about the David Lost Boys sideshow. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing how much stuff I pre-ordered. Just people, again, more Dr. Pepper discourse, which is fine. That's whatever. Ben Thomas definitely thinks it's tequila. Let's see. I'm trying to get caught up here. Darren says I had to cut back on the whole Ahsoka line. Yeah, Darren, I'm telling you, man, that line is dangerous. That line is dangerous. It is just the must-haves of that might be different for me than other people. For me, it's like I gotta have Baylan Shin, Sabine, and Ahsoka and Hera. Like if I just get those 5, I'm happy. And I know we got X-Men in the house. He's a big Chopper guy. I know he's gonna grill me for not getting Chopper. And I know a lot of people want Thrawn. Like I'm just saying, I might still get those, but like those are the essentials for that line for me. And if you had to, if I could only pick one, man, I don't know what I'd pick. Like I'm excited for the line, but I'm also like a little nervous because it's just it looks like it's going to be great. Mart P says, are you getting the Samaurai Predator? And that is one of the best assists for Mart P, because guess what, Mart P? That's truly what we were going to talk about next. And we're just going to jump right into that topic. And we're going to talk about Samaurai Predator. Let me get caught up with chat, and we're going to talk about the Samaurai Predator. To answer your question, I am getting this because I want to support figures like this, because I want to see more of this. I want to see more Predator. I want to see more Alien. I want to see more Terminator. I love Marvel and Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. I love Batman, but I want to see more variety from Hot Toys. And yeah, I just think this truly looks like a piece of art to me. Like this is going to be such a cool piece to have in the collection. So yes, I am very interested in picking up Samaurai Predator. And if I have the opportunity, I'm going to pick it up. Darren says, just be happy with Mando Ahsoka. I don't have that one either, Darren. That one looks cool too, but you're right, though. There's other Ahsokas, so if I had to pick, I mean, honestly, Sabine. I mean, I really want Sabine. I think Sabine would look great with my Chrome Mando. X-Men. This is real right here. This is real. Yeah, I gotta stop doing POs. So many of my figures have gotten so cheap in the aftermarket. I could have cut my overall cost down by like a third. And it's, dude. So we talked about the Wasp earlier, and I even said in my video, like, hey, you're probably going to be able to get this for cheaper later if you're just patient. And look, I gotta fix. Hold on. And the thing is with that figure, man, is like, I want it, but I don't know if it's smart to pick it up right now. Like, I think I should probably wait for a little bit. Let me know if I could. I got a notification in my microphone. It's like the Catwoman. Like I was really excited about the Catwoman. You're gonna be able to get that for a lot cheaper, like soon. The Anne Hathaway Catwoman. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of, my new thing is like truly must-haves in the collection. I'm trying my best not to get caught up. Audio's going out. All right, hold on. All right, let me know if y'all can hear me. This always happens, man. If I'm on stream for like an hour and a half, I start getting some technical issues. So just let me know if y'all can still hear me on this. But just to wrap up what I was saying, X-Man, like I'm really having to get selective with like when I'm pre-ordering, and I know you are as well. And so it's like I got that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 Nebula, but I don't have any of the other figures except for the Holiday Mantis, which isn't even technically part of the line. And that's one that I could see letting go of. I mean, it just sucks, man, because there's so many characters I want, but I'm having to like really be like, okay, who are the essential characters I need? And like we talked about before, X-Men, like Hugh Jackman Wolverine, absolute must have. I forgot to mention I have that pre-ordered as well, and Deadpool, must haves. Will not get rid of those pre-orders. So I have to feel that to like keep it. So that's kind of like my new thing is like, if I have that feeling of like absolute must have, John Wick, absolute must have, not getting rid of that pre-order. If it's one that I'm like, hey, that looks cool, I kind of want that, probably not going to pre-order it. Unless it's like a limited piece that if I don't pre-order it, I'm going to be paying for it later in the aftermarket, like some of these artisans. But that's a different conversation. All right. Movie canon. This is all of us. This is why we're here on a Friday night. This is a safe space to talk, guys. I'm in denial to the pre-orders I have. That's all of us, Gio. Don't feel bad. We're all in denial, man. We're all in denial. We're all sitting here thinking, hey, man, I got it under control. We don't. We love to pre-order. I would argue we almost love to pre-order more than we love to actually get the figures. That's how I'm feeling lately. It's like, dude, I love pre-ordering more than I actually, because then when you like pre-ordering is fun, and then because you only have to put a little bit of a deposit down. Sometimes you don't even have to put a deposit down. That's so much fun. When Timothy says, I'm only doing the villains in the Ahsoka line, not a bad strategy whatsoever. Mark P says, this will be my most expensive figure. I admit it's overpriced, but there's pros to this figure. Yeah, and we're about to discuss it. The reason I picked this picture first is I love how it's got the xenomorph by the tongue or by the mouth, whatever the hell you want to call that. But that's just so badass, dude. This is great. This is what I love seeing people do with their collections. I love when people can do like mashups of this. It says, imagine having a Batman holding a samurai over the alien. That would be so sick, dude. Wayne Timothy talking to Malgus, just saying the villains in that line are just too good to pass on. 100% agree, Wayne. I mean, I assume you're getting Balin, Shin. Like, I feel like Balin and Shin, dude, are like must-has for a lot of people. I just feel like a lot of people are all in on those two characters. All right, a few more comments, and then we'll talk about dude, I forgot about Marok. Or is it Merrick or Marok? Anyway, says looks great, and I can't wait to have him with Balin and Shin. There you go. You just answered my question from earlier. That's gonna look sick. Everybody telling me they can hear me. Christian Cooper, absolutely. I'd rather have the Jungle Predator. There's just something about the Samurai Predator. I feel like it's like this artistic like version of the character, and I just like kind of it's branded Alien versus Predator, which I think is kind of cool too. So I'm excited, man. All right, so let's take a look at this. So I could just tell you right off the bat, the thing I absolutely love about this figure is I love obviously the samurai angle to this. If you look, this figure has so many details in it that you miss when you first go through this. This is the first time I've looked at these. This is the first time I've talked about it on like stream or video, but I've actually looked at these pictures. Every time I look at them, I find something new. Like you can just see a lot of cool new pieces. You can start seeing like some accessories, some weapons that are made out of xenomorph material. You can just see all this different stuff. And just the reds, this deep red here, that's like the armor, looks so good. And what's so cool is like, so you get this version, right? Look at this. Look at this. And tell me that this isn't badass. The special edition exclusive, the samurai helmet with crest. Are you kidding me, dude? Look at this, man. This is so sick. Malgus for Emperor says, is this going to be a limited run figure? Not that I'm aware of. I don't believe so. If I'm wrong, somebody check me in the comments and just let me know that I'm wrong and give them the accurate information. But I don't believe this is a limited run. The first version of this, Malgus, that came out, I can't remember when it came out, but like there's a version of this out already, like the 1.0 you could say. And that one I believe was limited run, but I don't believe this one's going to be. But I don't know, man. The Predator is just one of the coolest character designs. You know, this is what I always talk about with, Predator, Alien, just such great creature designs, man. Interchangeable helmet and mask. You got interchangeable helmet and mask, and this is a great comment. Thank you, Mark P. Only the special edition is limited to 500 with the helmet. So what we're looking at right here, special edition with the helmet is limited to 500. So great info right there. Thank you, Mark P. Damn it. Okay. Didn't know that. I'm still going to be picking it up, but yeah, that's a cool exclusive, and that's cool because it's, you know, limited to 500. That's a limited run right there for that version. And look at this, 2 styles of mandibles, dude. Like, let's take a look at this, man. Let me try my best to zoom in a little bit here. I mean, look at this, man. This just looks so good. And so my question is this: Hot Toys Predator Grail? First off, do you think this is a Grail piece? Even if it's not limited, do you still consider it a Grail just because it's something we don't get very often? Or do you think it takes away from the collectible version of it because it's not super exclusive except for that 500 limited run? And I want to just know, because I already told you I want to see more. Do you want to see more of this from Hot Toys? And what I mean by that is not only Predator stuff, but like more IPs that are outside of Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. Do you want to see more of that from Hot Toys? Or do you want to see more of like versions like this where they take a character and they make a version, you know, kind of like that, you know, Nightmare Joker? Like, do you like stuff like that where it's almost like an art direction that they go with it? Kind of interested to see what everybody's take is on that. Mark P says the Japanese character on the special edition means skull. Very nice. Thank you, Mark P. That's awesome, man. Thank you for that information. X-Men Supreme says, I thought it was an early release of 500 like Deadpool. I can do some research on this, you guys, but I don't know off the top of my head. But I just know that like the regular version of it, it's not limited. Malga says, this doesn't fit my collection, but damn, it's cool. Yeah. That's been the ongoing thing, man, is like, it doesn't fit the collection, but it's amazing. Or it's amazing, but I have 58 pre-orders, you know? It's just tough right now, man. It's a good problem to have because that means there's a lot of good stuff out for us to choose from. Darren says, Prime 1 Berserker Predator looks so good. Great base too. Man, I'm telling you, if I can't even begin to think about like, I'm going to start off with like a quarter scale statue. There's a couple of quarter scale statues out there. There's a third scale Neo from the Matrix statue that might be my first statue. I know that I can't go down that rabbit hole just yet. There's still so many 6 scales that I still need. And I just know that I know myself and I already like collect way more than just 6 scale. You know, this is on display, but I collect so much more stuff. I just know myself, man. If I start going statues, it's like I won't be able to buy groceries. Let's put it that way, dude. Because I'll just be buying all these statues. Won't have any space. Won't be able to stream because all the statues are taking up the space. But yeah, man, Prime 1 Berserker Predator. I believe I know which one you're referring to, and that looks so sick. I know Prime 1. I think Prime 1's doing like a lot of announcements right now too, right? Like a showcase or something. X-Men Supreme says, well, the original Samaurai Predator was a Grail. Yeah, and that's why I asked it, X-Men, is because I'm curious to know if, like, with this one coming out, if this one still feels kind of like that Grail piece, or because it's more easily accessible, if it's kind of lost that, like, aura about it. Urfan says, the first one was meant to be a Grail. This will be remade in the next 20 years. Yeah, I mean, it's looking that way. I mean, it's looking like they really like the concept of this. And I definitely could see them revisiting this even like again. So yeah. But yeah, man, I don't know, guys. Like, this just looks phenomenal to me. Let's see if we got any more pictures I have. Those are the only ones I kind of saved for to show off because I didn't, you know, there's tons if you want to look at more. But these are the ones that I really wanted to talk about because I just love these two styles of mandibles here. I just think it looks really, really good. And yeah, man, I'm I don't know, man, just getting Predator Hot Toys again. Like, I know that a lot of people have been really wanting that, and so I wasn't collecting Hot Toys when they were first coming out with the Predator stuff. So this is to get like a different version of the Predator. Plus, it's AVP theme. That's really cool. Mark P asks, are there any potential flaws with the Samaurai Pred? You'd have to ask somebody, Mark P, that's had a Hot Toys Predator. Since I haven't, I don't know what they would be, but I'm sure I'm sure there is potential flaws somewhere. Just off my eye test, like, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, the only thing I would maybe, again, this is just like my eye test, is maybe posability. Like, you can see this like arm, like that looks really good, but with this Samaurai material in the shoulders, it looks like that's like split right there, so you get some good like shoulder movement. But that would be the only thing. And also, like, is it going to be kind of top heavy with all the accessories? But in terms of just like what I'm seeing, it just looks pretty seamless, man. Like, they've done a good job of like hiding the like joints, in my opinion. Like, you really can't see a whole lot of that. It looks really cool. So again, just based on these images, man, I think it looks really damn good. Great question, though. So here we go. This is why I love having the chat be able to answer some of this stuff. So Darren says dreads can be an issue, mouth parts, posability. Yeah, so we agree on that, Darren, with the posability. Like, that's what I initially thought when I kind of saw these poses, but yeah. So yeah, so anybody else getting this? I know a few of y'all have said y'all are passing on it, but is anybody just 100% picking this one up? Kenny Lang says, yeah, I also heard the dreads can be a problem. Okay, very interesting to know. Do y'all know, like, what's the issue with them? Could y'all share that with me, just so I've kind of, do they kind of get in the way, or do they just not look good? Or all right, so we are going to go to our last topic of the night. Again, just a reminder, we just talked about Samaurai Predator. We've talked about the Wasp. So if you're just joining us, make sure you catch that on the replay if you're interested in some of these other topics. We've talked about the Wasp that was just released by Hot Toys. We've talked about InArt Legolas. We've talked about Dr. Doom from Hot Toys. And we just got done talking about Samaurai Predator from Hot Toys. And we are going to finish it up with Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man from Amazing Spider-Man. I picked a few of these pictures out because I wanted to talk mainly about the head sculpt and some of the there's a few issues, obviously, with the suit. They actually just came out, Hot Toys did, and showed off kind of like the body, like the new body, and like how it's just more to scale. So like it feels like a taller figure like Andrew Garfield is. So I really love that. So definitely check that out on their Facebook if you want to kind of get some more info on that. But so here's the thing. I was kind of on some streams, not on some streams. I was commenting on some streams. I'm like a lot of you, like I've kind of made some jokes about, like, I just feel like the hair is really, really big, and the hair is like, and there's been some, again, this is just Andrew Garfield though. Like, when I actually went back and looked at some of these photos, his hair is big in this movie, man. Like, when I look at some of these photos, like, I don't know if it's because it's like a sculpted hair, so it looks like a big chunk of plastic or what, but Malgus for Emperor, no love for the Ahsoka Death Trooper tonight. We will talk about that. Thank you for the reminder. I do want to actually chat about that for a few minutes. Is anybody picking up that Death Trooper? I know that was like kind of a shadow drop, wasn't it? But I just wanted to talk about this Andrew Garfield sculpt real quick because I was kind of hating on it a little bit at first when I first looked at it. Like, if I would have made a video discussing it, I probably would have said that was kind of my issue with the figure. Like, just the battle damage sculpt. It just doesn't look that great. But the more I look at the sculpt, the more I think it actually looks pretty solid. And I don't know, man. I don't love the suit, but it is very unique, and I do want this character in my collection. And so I really think that this is the best Andrew Garfield that we're going to have up to this moment. And I don't know, man, the more I look at this figure, the more I look at these pieces, the more I look at an image like this, just doing kick flips, man, in New York City, taking photos, having a backpack. I would never pose him like this. I would definitely have the skateboard like in his backpack or whatever, like kind of on his back. But I just think this is a funny picture. Like, this is just kind of like a cool, like, because in the movie, man, again, he's supposed to be kind of like this outcast or whatever, but like he's so much cooler than anybody else in the movie. So it's like, it's hard to believe that like he's not popular in the movie, because he's got movie star looks. He's tall as hell. He's just cool. He's too cool for he's just almost too cool, man. But I thought Andrew Garfield did a great job. I personally, I really kind of defend Amazing Spider-Man 2. I know Amazing Spider-Man 2, I know this is from the first one, but Amazing Spider-Man 2 gets a lot of hate. And there's a lot of issues with that movie, man. But Andrew Garfield gave it his all, dude. And I'm glad that he got some redemption in this last No Way Home. Kenny Lang says the accessories are cool. Mark P says the TASM one isn't for me, but the pricing is pretty fair. Yeah, great point. Yeah, and you know, it's funny, man, because this suit. I actually think there's a lot to like about the suit, especially if you're gonna use the head sculpt. Now the mask has its own set of issues, but if you're gonna use the head sculpt on this, I think you can be happy with it, man. And personally, man, I could see myself going head sculpt with this figure, because I'm not a huge fan of the mask unless they update a little bit of it. On a few other streams, like Steve, Evil Sneaker, on the Jedi, or on Wolfpack Wednesday, was kind of talking about how the lines on the mask were kind of like crooked and stuff. And once you see it, it's tough to unsee it. So hopefully they can fix that. Malgus for Emperor says, I think it's the sculpted hair that makes it seem off. Yeah, I agree. That's the thing, man, is like, I understand why they didn't make this artisan or whatever. I totally get that. But the sculpted hair does, when you have that big of hair, it does make it look like, it just looks like a chunk of plastic. Now, right here from this angle, it does look big. But dude, I mean, when I actually went back, because I was like, dude, maybe I'm being a little too hard on this. Like, maybe it's accurate. And honestly, for the most part, it is accurate, man. Like, this is really a pretty accurate representation of the character. I mean, it just is. The hair is big though, man. It's just big. Like, it's hard to get around it. But if you can somehow overlook that and look at the sculpt, we get some really good age lines here on the forehead. I think the eyes look amazing. I think they really captured the eyes and captured the performance here. The eyebrows look great, dude. Got to give some shout out to the eyebrows, the ears. These sculpts are getting so realistic, man. It's crazy. But again, the hair is going to be a bit of a problem, and I'm wondering if you have it in your display, if you're going to notice it as much. Now, obviously, we have these zoomed in pictures, so I don't know. Mark P says, what's your criteria, if any, when it comes to pulling a trigger on a pre-order? I assume you're asking me what's my criteria to pre-order a figure. I think it comes down to the character. Like, if it's because all these look so good, at least most of them look so good, that I think it comes down to a character and how it's going to fit in the display. Like, it's for me, it's if I always think about it like this. Like, if I'm going to sit down and make a list of characters I really want in my collection, before I did YouTube, before I collected 6 scale, like, what were the characters that I was collecting in other scales? What were like Funko Pops I was picking up? What were like Marvel Legends, or Black Series from Star Wars? Like, what were these pieces I was picking up? I want to get those characters in 6 scale. And I've had to kind of get better about that, because when I first started, I really was just trying to look for the best deal. Like, hey, is this a good deal? Like, for this figure, is this good? Like, And so I didn't buy backwards a lot. And so if I had to do it over again, I probably would have picked up a few different characters to start my collection with. But overall, I've picked up the pieces for the most part that I've wanted. But yeah, I think it comes down to character, and like if you didn't have it and you knew that you really wanted that character in the collection, that I guess that's the ultimate question. Can I live without this in the collection? And I just mentioned Hugh Jackman Wolverine. I have to have a Hugh Jackman Wolverine in the collection, like at least one. And then that opens up a whole nother set of questions. It's like, what version, you know? And that's why villains are so intriguing. And that's why I think a lot of people in the comments when they were mentioning villains, that's why they're so intriguing. And I'm not talking Vader and stuff, because you're going to get a million Vaders. But some of these characters, like a Moff Gideon, or like a, from Star Wars, Balin and Shin, Marvel, we talked about that Kang figure earlier. We talked about, some of the, Thanos and all that stuff. Like, that's why I think villains are almost like an easier purchase, because with like Spider-Man, dude, you're going to have like 10 to choose from. So that's kind of a long-winded answer, but if it was simple, man, I have to fight that urge of like, because so many things I want, but I really have to like love the character and think it looks great and all that. Kenny Lang says his hair looks like a helmet. Yeah, it kind of does, man. It's just, I hope they can kind of fix this a little bit, still kind of keep the hair accurate, but also kind of make it a little bit more appealing to the eye. But overall, I still think the sculpt looks really good. Hair gives me a Mars Attack 5. Mark P was just saying, yes, criteria to PO a figure. And that's the thing too, Mark P, is like, so there's a couple of like places where you pre-order, you got to put and you know this, Mark P, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but like sometimes there's like companies that, like underground, that, they don't require a NRD. And so it's easy to pre-order. Even with Sideshow, it's like, yeah, you pre-order and you only have to put down like, $35 or something, So it doesn't get real until like either you're doing payment plans or those payments start coming out. But pre-ordering is easy. Keeping pre-orders is a little bit more difficult. So for me, like keeping a pre-order, I have to really just be like, have been looking forward to the figure. When the blogger photos release, it looks just as good or even better than the prototype. And that's when I usually decide if I'm going to keep something or not. But very rarely do I have to cancel something. But usually when I do, it's either A, because so much stuff came out at once that I just can't logistically, like right now, I need to get another case. Like I need space. Or I just fell out of love with the pre-order and like the blogger photos came out. And I just didn't think it looked great. So those are kind of, it's a process, man. I'm still learning the best way to do it, but I'm getting more back to like, I'm collecting the characters I really love and I really want, as opposed to, oh, this is a great deal. Like, this is a great deal. This is, I'm trying to do better about that. So Malgus, this is perfect encapsulation of what we've been talking about. Emotional connection to a figure is big. Yeah. That's what I've been talking about. Like, if it's a character you really love, like some people, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is their favorite Spider-Man. So this is a no-brainer. But, but like that Predator, like I'll be honest with you, that's really strictly because it looks really cool and it's unique, Jungle Predator is one I have way more connection to from the movie. So, all right. And we're going to take one look at just this real quick. Amazing Spider-Man. Again, man, there's a lot to like here. Again, if they can kind of, finally get this mask looking good, I think there's a lot to like here. I'm not a huge fan of this deluxe base, to be totally honest with you. I don't need it. And again, that's a little bit of a concern here. This clip right here that's kind of digging into the suit. Again, as well as I do, when you have a Spider-Man figure, that's always a problem. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. This suit, I actually like the vibrant colors of this suit. I actually think this suit's kind of cool. It just feels Andrew Garfield to me, so that's why I like it. And I like how they've made the body bigger, longer. It feels more Andrew Garfield scale. So I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm going to do with this piece yet. I definitely want an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man at some point. I I haven't pre-ordered this. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to wait and see what the final product looks like, and if it's really good, man, I could see myself picking this one up, but I'm not sure yet. X-Men Supreme says, running out of space is real. My mono cases aren't here yet, and that 89 Batmobile is about to ship. All my MCU stuff is on the Batmobile shelf. Yeah, dude. That's been my biggest struggle, I think, so far, is I underestimated the I mean, yeah, you could fit a ton of I could fit more in there, but it won't. I already feel like it's kind of cluttered. So that's kind of the thing, man, is like display space, how many displays you need, maybe foregoing a few figures to pick up more cases. You know, it's a process, man. We're all kind of learning. We're all trying to do our best, but yeah. Christian says sick figure, but I'm probably going to pass already. I'm probably going to pass. Already have 4 Spider-Man, including 1 Andrew. Yeah, I get it then, dude. I don't have an Andrew yet, so this kind of is appealing to me, but yeah. All right, so I don't got a picture ready for it, but did anybody else pick up that? You know, we're talking. Me and Malgus for Emperor were talking. Did anybody else pick up that Ahsoka Dark Trooper? I'm kind of interested to see. I believe that was a shadow drop. Krista, were you even interested in that one, Krista? I know you collect a lot of Star Wars. I just remember some people were saying like it just randomly dropped on Sideshow. I totally missed it. I was at work, so I just didn't know how that went for everybody. And this is what I was referring to. He said no love for the Ahsoka Death Trooper tonight. What I can do, though, just real quickly while we're discussing it, is I can at least give us an image, you know? Did anybody else pick this one up? I know Malgus for Emperor was able to secure one. Did anybody else, were they able to secure the Death Trooper? This looks really good, man. This looks really good. That Ahsoka line, bro, looks so good, man. I just know that I'm not gonna be able to get as much from that line as I want, because I just know there's gonna be so much other stuff coming out around that same time. It, like Spider-Verse line. We were just talking about Spider-Man. Spider-Verse, man, like that's something that's kind of lost steam. But when that came out, dude, I think everybody wanted to collect that. And I don't know how many people are still committed to that line, but I'm still committed to that line, man. I just wish we could have got a Gwen Stacy and a Peter B. Parker. That kind of irritates me, but it is what it is. Excuse me. X-Men Supreme says, oh yeah, I had 20 plus figures in my DTOF before I finally got more display space. It sucked. Yeah, dude, that's how it is with all collectibles. Like when I did, you know, again, I'm getting into kind of building some sets again, but it's same with, like, you know, again, we talked about Lego earlier. Like same with Lego. Like it's awesome, but like it takes up a ton of space, especially those UCS, you know, those UCS editions. You know, even with the smaller scales, like I got the NECA figures and stuff. Like if I, like, yeah, you can fit a ton more in there, but at the same time, it kind of gets to that point of like, you still are going to need the space eventually. Like even with Funko Pops, you know, I used to collect those in box. Those took up more space than you think. So you always need more space than I feel like you think you need. Darren says Battle Damage Vader is an example of a must-have for me. Yeah, dude, that's perfect comment to what we were talking about. Like Vader, to a lot of people, you've got it. Like people would rather have 5-6 versions of Vader than a wide variety of a line of characters like that Ahsoka line. Some people just want to get Thrawn. You know, I think Wayne Timothy said earlier, he's focused on the villain. So that's another way to kind of collect a line of figures without getting overwhelmed, is like, hey, I'm just going to get the villains. Christian said I was semi-interested, but I missed it. Yeah, it looks really good. I mean, I wasn't as big on this one as other people were. I think it looks awesome, but like Captain Enoch and stuff, like that's more up my speed. Like, because he was, you know, I really like the design and stuff, but But yeah, troopers, man, troopers are tough. I know they look awesome, but I feel like I would always want more than one, you know? Wayne Timothy says I missed it. I'm not happy about it. I don't blame you, man. That sucks, dude. Especially for a piece like this, man. And you knew you wanted it, but like it was kind of a surprise drop, I guess. So that's even more frustrating. Christian says I might pick it up in the future if it's not too pricey. Yeah. Yeah, I know you'll find one, Christian, if you really want it. Valkyrie says running out of space is a big deal. I had no idea I would buy so much in a year. Yeah, that's all of us, man. I don't think anybody anticipated having to make this many decisions this year, because everybody thought this was just going to be the year the 2.0, and it kind of has been. But dude, just the amount of stuff we're getting, not only from Hot Toys, but like InArt and Caustic Plastic and Mondo and all these things, man. I mean, just so many companies just bringing out just absolute fire. Yeah, man. Excuse me, but you gotta make a choice, man. I mean, it's tough. We're all having to kind of make those choices. Malgus Rimper says it was a shadow drop. Luckily, Sneaker tipped me off that it was up. It was so weird how there was no queue. Yeah, dude, that's the thing. He texted me and he's like, he kind of told me that it was like just a shadow drop. I was like, dang, dude. And I'm kind of with Christian. I would have maybe tried to get one, like kind of get in the queue just in case somebody missed it or something. But I feel for people like Wayne Timothy who really wanted it and missed it, man. Yeah. Wayne Timothy says, sorry, list on eBay for around 400. Man, that's what's happening with me with that InArt Harry Potter, but not 400, double that. And then some. It's like cheapest I can find. It's like 800 plus. So, I mean, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait and see if it gets a little cheaper. If not, we'll see, but might just go sculpted. Who knows? All right. 15 still in the chat, and we're at 12:24 a.m. So we are now into Saturday for me anyway. Different time zones, but I know some of you might not be in the same time zone, obviously. So 15 in the chat, and we've been going strong. And I want to read this real quick. These last two comments, or not last two, but these two comments. My main hunt now is an artist in Anakin. Yeah, dude. Good luck with that, man. I'm rooting for you. And then Darren says, hopefully Harry Potter doesn't pull a WB 100 Wonder Woman. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. I don't know, man. I think it's going to get a little cheaper, but I don't see it getting like super cheap because I just don't think I think the run on it's probably not going to be as much as some of these other ones. But anyway, 14 still in the chat. Thank y'all so much for being here. We're going to wrap up here. We talked about a lot of stuff tonight. If you came in late, definitely check out the replay. Maybe check it out tomorrow if you want. Would love to have you watch it if you missed some of it. Had a great conversation. I had the chat. You were awesome as always, man. Thank y'all so much for being here. This was so much fun, man. Like, this was cool. I feel like we had a little bit of technical difficulties tonight, but nothing crazy. So this is probably the smoothest one of my streams has gone so far. So each week, man, I'm getting a little bit better at hopefully bringing y'all a good quality show. So I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be here. And I hope I provided you with some entertainment tonight. And I know y'all provided me with it because I had a blast talking with you guys on a Friday night. This has been episode 3 of Casual Friday. Make sure to hit that like button on the way out. Make sure to check out my latest video where I talk in depth about the Wasp figure. And again, if you want to catch the replay, that'll be up on my channel as well. And I have a lot of different content coming out, not just 6 scale, a lot of different stuff. So I hope you will support that as well. But if not, no hard feelings. Thank you so much. Make sure that you hit I've already said that. This is the problem. I don't know how to end these things. I need to get like this outro screen. I need to get this whole thing. We'll get that figured out. Because I usually just say like, all right, bye. All right, guys, bye. And then I cut it off. See you later, guys. Cut the screen. Ben Thomas, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, Ben Thomas. Appreciate you, Wayne Timothy. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for being here, Wayne. Appreciate you. Valkyrie says, I'm in Seattle, so it's only 10:25. All right, man. Great. I appreciate you being here, Valkyrie. Thank you so much for the support, man. Christian says, great stream, bro. Keep them coming. Truly appreciate it, Christian. Mark P says, good check. Thank you so much, Mark P. X-Man, have a good night. Good night, X-Man. Appreciate you being here, man. Darren saying good night to everybody. Everybody's saying good night to each other. Malgus saying great stream. Justin, have a great night, everybody. You too, Malgus. And look who we got here at the last minute. We got Yomo. Catch you on the replay. Yomo, truly appreciate you dropping in, man. Thank you so much. Replay is totally fine, man. I really appreciate you even taking the time to leave this comment. So thank you, Yomo. And X-Men knows what's up. Yomo's in the building, everybody. 15 in the chat. Awesome night. Awesome night. Had a blast, you guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. And I'll see you next time.